Hello everybody, welcome back to the start of another reading vlog. Now listen, I am so excited for this reading vlog. I know that it's not necessarily like the most fun prompt and I'm not really like struggling to find things on my TBR or reading new things or anything like that, but this is really good for me personally. So I challenged myself this year to read 25 set books in 2025, as a lot of other people do, and I am down to the last 4. Now, for my reading vlogs, I tend to read 4 books per reading vlog. How perfect! I have 4 left. So I'm here to complete one of the challenges I have set for myself. If I am anything, I am a completionist at heart, and although I have set many a challenge for myself this year as far as reading goes, I will be completing the 25 in 2025 because I have 4 books left. Now, of these 4 books, I have 2 horror, 1 thriller, and 1, I don't know how I would describe the Veronica Speedwell series because I've never read it. I would assume it's a mystery series, like a fun historical mystery. So I have that. So all genres that I really enjoy, and I'm excited. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the thriller, which is The Last One by Will Dean. So I actually started this last night. I've been in such a mood for a thriller, and I mean, I have a small-ish thriller shelf on my TBR, which is kind of crazy because thrillers were the first genre that I really enjoyed when I got back into reading, but I now reach for obviously other genres. But I've been wanting to read this all year long. I thought the premise of this was kind of crazy, so I'm currently on chapter 13, page 65. The chapters are so short in this, which is just honestly so perfect for me for a thriller. Like having short chapters, the end of each chapter ends on some sort of cliffhanger. Oh, that is everything I enjoy. So the premise of this is really strange. In the first chapter, we're following this girl named Kaz. I say girl, but she's more of a woman. I keep envisioning her as like, I guess my age, like a 30-year-old, but she is 49, so she is an older woman, and she's on this cruise ship for the first time with her boyfriend. And the first chapter is just them embarking on the cruise ship, eating at one of the restaurants, and then going to bed. And then she wakes up the next morning and she's the only person on this cruise ship, including staff. There's no one driving this ship, there's nothing. She is the only person. And that is the premise of this book. And so far, I'm having a really good time with it. Like I said, the ends of each chapter are very fun and cliffhangery. It is quite a long thriller though. It's like 420-ish pages, which I think is pretty long for a thriller. But I'm really excited to see where it goes and like what ends up happening. So I heard it gets crazy. I heard like around the 100-page mark is when things start to really take off. I definitely plan to read more, obviously. I'll keep you guys updated, but I'm excited for this one. The byline up here says, has she lost her mind, or is that what they want her to think? I didn't read the synopsis before reading this. That's something I don't like to do, like ever. Like I'll read a synopsis and that usually makes me want to read a book, but then once I finally go to pick up the book, I don't read it again because I have a very pea brain, I forget things. So I don't know, I'm kind of excited to keep going with this. So I'll keep you guys updated and let's just keep reading the last one. I'm here to give my final review of The Last One by Will Dean. Dinner's being made right now, so if you can hear lots of noises, everyone's home and dinner's being made. That's basically all there is to that. Also, why is my shirt wet? I guess that's a good question. So overall, I'm giving this 4 stars, and I'm not saying much else about this book other than what the synopsis says, because I feel like, and I've seen it from every other review, the synopsis of this book barely covers the surface of this story. Like this story is just when you think it's going one way, it goes a whole other direction. It is so twisty and completely almost edge of your seat thriller-esque. I enjoyed it so much. Like you think you know what's happening, but you really don't. And that's the best part about this. I had such a great time with it. I think the overall reason I couldn't give it a full 5 stars, which I really wanted to because short chapters, so short. Like I said, super twisty, super turny. Love the setting of this cruise ship. The ending just really made me almost angry. I didn't like how it ended. I found that characters that I was supposed to maybe sympathize with a little bit, I found it hard to sympathize with them. And there was lots of parts of this story where the main character, Kaz, kind of reflects on her life at home. And it happens really often. And I almost felt like those were just really completely unnecessary. We didn't need those like flashbacks or her thinking about her life back at home or her remembering things from her childhood. I felt like almost all of that was so unnecessary for the plot, and it didn't really drive much. And I think that is probably the ultimate reason that I deducted a star. However, I think if you're in the mood for a really great thriller and this premise sounds interesting to you, just know it gets better. And not even gets better, it gets worse, but also better. But it's just so good. And that is one of the main reasons I definitely suggest this. So I'm so happy I finally read this. I'm happy to have marked off another book off my 25 in 2025. And yeah, 4 stars. My goal was for my 25 in 2025 to have at least 4 or 5 stars for all of them, although a few of them have gotten lower ratings, but to have another 4-star is so exciting. So I'm so happy to be done with this. Hi, I'm back. I'm so happy to be back, and I know for you it's been like a second, but I have taken a whole month off of this reading vlog because I was filming my all horror in October reading vlog, which if you've not checked that out, I'll put it up here. I'll also link it down below. It's one of my favorite things to do every October, to read all horror books, so paused this reading vlog to work on that, but it is currently October 29th. I did need to finish that vlog. Is it the 29th? Yeah, it is. I did need to finish that vlog so I could edit it today, but I finished my last book last night, and I was like, I kind of want to keep this horror train going, and I have 2 horrors left for this 25 in 2025. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the long one. This is Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy. I read Nestlings by Nat Cassidy, which is like a vampire story, and I very much so enjoyed the writing. I thought it was really eerie, spooky, fantastic. I also do own When the Wolf Comes Home, so I do eventually want to read that. But I have been wanting to read Mary for forever, which is why it's on my 25 in 2025. And of the 3 books left in that section, this is the longest, so I do want to knock this one out. Oh no, don't tell me. Okay, for a second, when I flipped to the end, I thought I saw chapter 38, and I'm like, this is a long book. The chapters are about to be really long, but it said 58, which I'm excited about. So, like when reading all my books, of course I read the synopsis before I purchase a book, because obviously I want to see if I'm interested. But I haven't read this synopsis since, and I don't plan on reading it right now, like at all. So, from my understanding, this is just about a woman named Mary, and something is going to awaken in terror, and it looks like this bathtub, there's another hand reaching out to get her, and she's writing, she's got something over her head and some wine. Let's see what happens. I'll keep you updated. Alrighty, I am here with an update on Mary, An Awakening of Terror. It's been quite a while. I will say I didn't read for a couple of nights, not because I don't enjoy the book. We got a puppy, you guys. We got a puppy. So I didn't read for a couple of nights because I was tired, but I'm about 60-ish% of the way through. I feel like I'm definitely more than 60% of the way, but that's what it says on Goodreads. I'm on page 262, chapter 40, I don't know, I just started part 5, and I'm really enjoying this. I'm actually really, really enjoying this. I think I might like this more than Nestlings, if I'm being honest, and that's crazy because this is his debut. I'm really liking it. So in this book, I read the synopsis because I don't want to spoil anything because, oh my gosh, you guys, this book is so good to read. There's a bunch of parts, like I said. In part 1 is like maybe a chapter long. And in part 1, it takes place like, how many years ago? 50 years ago, almost 50 years ago. It's 1969. And we are following this detective as he's catching this serial killer in this mansion. And it's crazy. Like, this starts off with a bang. Like, the serial killer is like running through the walls. Like, not through them, but like he's hidden behind walls. Like, there's like crawl spaces he can get through. And this detective is finding all of these bodies in this mansion that look kind of like this and really creepy, really scary. And they finally catch him and they kill him. And instantly, right when they kill him, across town, Mary is born. So, I mean, already we're putting 2 and 2 together there. We're like, oh, okay, so that reincarnation, cool. And so then it moves on to, 50 years in the present. Mary is 49. She's about to turn 50. And she's coming back to this hometown from New York because she lives in New York and her aunt is calling her home because her aunt needs someone to take care of her. She's getting older and she needs help. Mary's been living in New York. She's living a very life. She's not happy. She works in this bookstore in the basement. She's about to get fired by a kid who's like 20, 30 years younger than her. She just went to the doctor because she's been having a lot of like hot flashes and hearing voices and she can't look in mirrors, and the doctor's like, it's menopause. Like, you're going through menopause. And like, that alone is so annoying that doctors just like brush women off for anything. And I've also experienced that, being brushed off by a doctor and been like, hey, you're fine. Okay, sure. Anywho's, so she comes back to this hometown and things kind of start to ramp up. She starts to feel like all sorts of things, seeing all sorts of things. She's seeing like ghosts and shit. And that alone is spooky. And she's slowly starting to realize things. And I'm getting to a point where like I said at the beginning, you're like, okay, so she's like a reincarnation. That makes sense. It also says at the bottom when she gets back to the town, it says, then the killings begin again. Mary's definitely going to find herself. So yeah, I think people start dying. People around her that she has problems with. But the problem is she doesn't remember any of it. So that's what's crazy. And I'm at a part right now where things are taking a wild turn. So I kind of expected this book to go one way, and it was going that way for quite a bit. And now all of a sudden it's like taking this turn that I definitely did not see coming, and I'm kind of liking it. I'm kind of enjoying it. I need this story to keep unraveling because I need to continue to know more. I don't think I'll finish this tonight. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I'm on 263. It's like 400 pages. I don't think I'll finish it tonight. I could try, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I did read the what is it, author's note at the beginning, and Nat Cassidy did say that this book is heavily inspired by Carrie by Stephen King, and I can see that, which I really liked. And so yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. I was nervous about this one. I don't know why. I think it's because of the length. I always get nervous when I see longer horror, and again, don't know why. Those always end up being my favorite because the slow burn of it all is just so perfect. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm interested to see what kind of happens because it's getting a little wackadoodle, and I'm kind of liking where it's going. So that's my Mary update. Hopefully I can finish it soon because I need to finish both of these here in the next like 3 weeks. So I need to pick up the pace on this one. Camera is at 11%, so if it dies, I gotta go get a new battery. But I haven't come out, you guys, with an update in such a long time. So I finished Mary, An Awakening of Terror by Nat Cassidy, and I think this might be my current favorite Nat Cassidy. It did feel a pinch too long towards the end there. I think I told you guys it was going down this like weird path, and it definitely did. It definitely went down a path that I was not expecting. I did, however, enjoy it, but it was one of those books that like could have had an ending, but then something happened and it kept going, and then it could have had an ending, but then something happened and it kept going. And it definitely felt like it dragged out quite a bit towards the end there. However, I will say I am still giving it a 4-star because I really did enjoy this. I think I also maybe gave Nestlings 4 stars, but in hindsight, no, I definitely gave it 4 stars because I didn't give it 5 stars. But yeah, like I said, I think this is definitely my favorite of the two Nat Cassidys that I have read. I do also own When the Wolf Comes Home. I'm definitely going to be reading that. I think I might make it a part of my 26 and 2026 because I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I did really enjoy Mary. I think I was really intimidated, actually, into this. I was really nervous I wouldn't like it because everything I'd heard about it was mostly just people talking about how it's like a woman going through elderly women things like menopause and, you know, body changes and things, but it's so much more than that. That is literally just the basis, and I thought it was really good. So I'm really happy I read this, and it's definitely going to be one of those 4-star 25 and 2025s, which I love because I wanted to have 4 and 5 stars for the entirety of the year, although I haven't hit it yet, but it's okay. I finished Mary, and then I like to normally come at you guys with at least 3 clips per book and be like, okay, this is the next book I'm starting. Well, I'm about a little more than halfway through it now. Whoa, geez. I'm a little bit more than halfway through it now, and I am having a great time, and that's A Curious Beginning by Deanna Raybourn. This is the first book in the Veronica Speedwell series. I think there's like 9 or 10 or maybe even more books out right now. And I definitely wanted to give this a try, see if this was for me to, you know, put another series under my belt. And at first, when I first started this, so currently I'm almost on page 200. I'm on page 198, chapter 19. When I first started this, I actually felt like I wasn't going to like it, which is a little stressful, I would say, because, I don't know, you know when you first start a book and you're like, I don't know if this one's for me, that always makes me so nervous. And I don't think Mary put me into a slump, but I was in a little bit of like a reading, I don't even want to say slump for the most part. My cat moved so I can adjust my legs better. I guess I was in a little bit of a reading slump there for a bit. It took me like 10 days to read Mary, which is a little bit crazy considering I gave it a 4-star. Typically books I really enjoy, they don't take me that long to read because I just want to eat them up so quickly. I started this and I started it very slowly. And like I said, I wasn't like sure how I felt about it. But now being more than halfway through, I'm really enjoying it. I do plan on continuing in the series. So in this book, we meet Veronica Speedwell. When you first meet her, she is at a funeral for one of her aunts, I guess. I think it's like her caretaker, essentially. actually. And she goes to go home and there's like a person like ransacking her little cottage. And she's like, oh, they must know that my aunt just passed and so the cottage would be empty so they can steal things. But she kind of gets saved by this like German bureaucratic man who she doesn't even know, who's like, I'm going to save you. I'm going to take you somewhere safe. And she's like, okay, sure. And she's this like cute little scientific little lady. And she's very sweet and smart and fun to read about. She definitely reminds me a lot of Emily Wilde. And so he takes her to London where she is put in the care of Stoker. And Stoker is this like mysterious but also handsome and like witty, fun man. And they are starting their adventures. And this is like a mystery series. I'm assuming the mystery is, oh, here we go. So it says it in the synopsis, so I can say it. But basically, once he drops the Baron, the German man, the bureaucratic man, drops her off with Stoker, as soon as he gets home, he's murdered. And so it says before the Baron can reveal what he knows of the plot against Veronica, he is found murdered, leaving Veronica and Stoker on the run from an elusive assailant as wary partners in search of the villainous truth. That's exactly what's happening right now. They're going on these adventures. And like I said, at first I was really not into it. I was like, I don't know if this historical mystery is for me. I think it's for me. I think I'm really enjoying it. The second book is absolutely on its way. So I'm enjoying it so far. I'll continue to keep you guys updated. I haven't updated you guys in like weeks, it feels like. So that's why this update feels so strange. But I'm hopeful to get a lot more of this read tonight. Hopefully finish it by tomorrow at the latest. And I'm really liking it so far. This feels like it could be a 4 or 5 star read. I'm very much so enjoying it. Hi, I'm here with an update for A Curious Beginning, the first book in the Veronica Speedwell series. I'm definitely due for an update because I finished this book 4 days ago. Also, I'm so haggard right now. I had a really long day at work and I'm very tired. And I've been saying we have a puppy now and I feel like my life is a little extra stressful, just a little extra. But anyway, you don't care, or maybe you do. I don't know. I will say when I started this, I was a little nervous because I went into this thinking I would really like this series because I tend to enjoy historical fiction. I tend to enjoy like a little mystery, a little slow burn romance, which is exactly what this is. But the start of this, I was just like, I like this. I don't know. And after finishing and giving it 4 stars, I have decided, yes, I do like it. It reminds me a lot of Emily Wilde in the sense that like Veronica she writes, like she's a scholar and she writes a little teeny bit pretentiously, but at the same time, like she's just so endearing that like you just really love her. And I love Stoker and I think their like slow burn is really fun. And I loved solving this mystery together. I felt like once like the mystery really got going, I felt like the pace really picked up and it was just really easy to fly through this. So I did go ahead and pick up the second one. This will be a part of another little series that I started and hopefully will finish one day, although these books are still currently being published, which is really exciting. Although I think like the 9th one was just brought out, but I did enjoy it. And like I said, if you like Emily Wilde, I think you'll really like this because that's kind of what it reminds me of. And I really liked it. So finished this, gave it 4 stars, very excited about it. I'm not going to talk too much about this, although I am currently 50% of the way through because I want to kind of get a little bit more thoughts, but I did start the last final book in my 25 and 2025, like A+ for me, and that is I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. This was picked by my husband for me to read, and I've only ever read from Stephen Graham Jones once before, which was the first book, My Heart is a Chainsaw, in the Indian Lake trilogy. And at first, I hated that book, and then the ending kind of like made me like it a little bit more. I felt like the buildup was really terrible, and I have a feeling that's exactly what's going to happen with this one because like I said, I'm 50% of the way through right now, and I'm just not having a great time. Let's chat about it now. I'm having the same kind of thing with this one. So in this, we're in Texas. We're here in Texas in July of 1989. We're following this really annoying protagonist. Like, I don't know what it is about Stephen Graham Jones, but I hate his protagonist. I just have the worst time with him. His name is Tully. He's just like a kid. He's just like a kid in high school who doesn't really have like a clique or a group or anybody he really hangs out with. He has his best friend Amber, and that's kind of it, which is completely fine. And I'm reading the synopsis just to double check, but because I don't want to spoil anything. But essentially, yeah, he ends up becoming a teenage slasher. He's such an unlikable protagonist. And the way Stephen Graham Jones writes, or at least the 2 books I've read so far from him, is very like stream of consciousness from their perspective. And it's just like, I never know what's happening. I never do. Because these people are just so all over the place. I don't know half the time how we're getting from point A to point B. It doesn't make any sense in my head. And maybe that's how it's going to be. But there was some parts in this so far far, like at the very beginning, that were a little bit crazy that I kind of enjoyed reading about. But now I'm just kind of like, I don't like Tully. I don't like him at all. And I just, not because of this even, just he just is so unlikable. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep reading this and see how I feel. But so far, I just really like Amber, the best friend. She seems very cool, but he's just so unreliable. So I'm gonna keep it going and I'll keep y'all updated. But so far, I'm not having a good time. Hi. It is currently Thanksgiving. I have a downstairs full of people asleep, and Brian's like already started, if you can hear, and both cats are like right next to me because they will not leave me alone. But I'm ready to end this vlog. This vlog has taken like 2 months if I really think about it. And I've also been in like such a terrible reading slump, I guess, that I just need to get past this vlog and start fresh, start something new. So I did finish I Was a Teenage Slasher by Stephen Graham Jones. Ultimately, I'm giving it a 2.75. I rounded it up to a 3-star on Goodreads. Stephen Graham Jones, this is the second book I've read from him, and both times it's done kind of the exact same thing. Like the first good chunk of this book, I'm bored. I'm like, I don't care about any of these characters. The main character is incredibly unlikable. I don't like being in their head. And then at some point it just kind of switches. The plot of the story, or like the horror aspect, switches, and all of a sudden I'm interested. And I don't like that, because I think if I was the type of person to DNF a book, I would have already DNF'd 2 of his books. But because I pushed through, because I wanted to push through, I end up kind of enjoying a little bit more of the plot. And I don't know if I like that or if I hate that. Like I can't decide in my head if that's something I enjoy or if that's something I hate. So ultimately 2.75, and I think I think Cloud in a Cornfield was my lowest rated 25 in 2025. But I'm finally finished with my 25 and 2025 books. I am ready to move on to 26 and 2026. I think I'll be picking those in like a week, so I'm very excited. But I have completed a challenge, and I'm really proud of myself, and I'm glad we got to do it together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in my next one.